We are the Bennett family. Mom, Dad, 4 kids, and a trail dog exploring national scenic trails. No B-roll, just raw footage and narration of our adventures.
So here we are at the Canadian border. We hiked almost 3,000 miles or whatever. Made it to East Glacier. And then when we went to Medicine to pick up our permit, we were told it was impossible for us to get our permits and hike through the park. Part of it was because there was a lot of hikers and it was a busy weekend. But the other part is they're just not set up to handle, I guess, more than like a group of 6 people in the park. So we took a couple hours, but eventually we got something figured out so that we could hike through the park and finish our trek, finish up the last 100 miles. And what we ended up doing was going to the Canadian border and then hiking backwards back to East Glacier. So it would have been nice to end at a monument, but, if we flipped it in the last 100 miles, I guess we're okay with that. I do hope the park system figures some way of actually kind of expediting hikers and helping us get through the park, because it's not exactly easy to get to Medicine and to try and get these permits. They make a bunch of stipulations that don't really make a lot of sense. Like you have to leave either that day or the very next day. You're not allowed to leave the park. So if you hiked up and then maybe made it to a road and hitched out and stayed outside the park for a day or something because there weren't any campsites available, then it voided your permit. And it was just very, very difficult to try and get this all figured out. But we eventually did. And we didn't have to do what some hikers did, which was like hike 2 miles one day and then 38 the second day and then 20. We actually had a pretty consistent, 15 to 20 mile days all the way through. And really, the park was beautiful. It was a blast to hike through here. And it was kind of nice to actually have several days that were, a little bit shorter than normal, so we could enjoy all the things that we wanted to explore and see.
Hi, this is Ladybug. I'm going to share my favorite part. It's actually right here. This is the Tarmacan Tunnel. It was my favorite part of Glacier. It was really fun because you climbed up this hill and then you walked through the rock and then you got to go through the mountain. And on the other side there was this beautiful lake, and then we had 3 miles to Main Glacier, and it was really fun. And this map was there, and then they had really good ice cream. It was thimbleberry ice cream, really good.
Or was it Huckleberry?
Huckleberry, yeah.
Hi, this is Turtle here. Right now we're walking through Pagan Pass, at least in the footage. Right now we're laying on the floor of our living room. But Pagan Pass was incredible. I loved all the waterfalls and the little trees and bushes and huckleberries. There were so many huckleberries that it attracted a grizzly bear. We saw it from a safe distance, thank goodness, but it was a pretty nice sight to see. At the other side of the pass, there was a bunch of beautiful rock formations and cliffs and lakes. I love rock formations, forests, cliffs, glaciers, rivers. I love all that stuff. So Pagan was an incredible experience for me.
Hi, this is Honey Badger. This is one of our last mornings on trail. We're all standing around laughing and having a good time. We saw so many pretty things on this day. We went over all these cool bridges and we got to see so many waterfalls. This waterfall had a bunch of goats hanging out just beneath it, and it was really cool to see them hanging out, having a good time. We spent most of the day, or I spent most of the day reminiscing, the last 4-5 months on trail as a family and all the beautiful things we've gotten to see. And we got to see lots of hikers today that we'd hike with for the last couple months. At the top of this pass, you can't tell, but I'm singing. I'm singing Lean on Me by Bill Withers. It's a song I sing all the time, to the point that I drive my family absolutely off the walls. But it's my favorite trail song to sing.
Hey, this is Amazon, and I'm going to share my story about seeing a moose. So we were walking along, and I was behind with my parents, and my siblings were in front of me, and I heard this rustling, and I kind of just thought, like, oh, there's wind or something. But it turns out, when I looked over, it was just this huge moose, and you could just barely see it through the trees. It was blending in. None of my other siblings saw it, but I saw it.
Hey, this is Wildflower. I just want to wrap up this video talking about what a treasure it was to be able to hike southbound through Glacier and run into so many of our friends that we had hiked with since New Mexico, who were wrapping up their hike, heading northbound. There was a lot of energy and excitement at the very last day. We don't have video coverage of all the hikers we saw because there were so many. It was so much fun. Our last day we had quite a bit of smoke. But that's okay. The views that we had these last 4 days were phenomenal. Getting to spend this time with our family all together was a treasure. I hope to not have to eat power bars for a while. We ended at Luna's base camp, and so many hikers, so much love and fun, and then we just get on this train and we head home.